Hi guys, this is quite a somber video today, so I apologise for that in advance, but I think it's quite an important subject and I thought it'd be worth covering. Recently Rossella and I were entering an anchorage and we were about to anchor our boat. In the distance we could see a rib shooting along at about 20 knots and he was doing a large turn, a circular turn, and then we noticed that one after one the kids which were on the boat were jumping off into the water, and Rossella said to me, "Isn't that dangerous?" And I looked at it, and if he'd have continued to do what he was doing, they would have got away with it. But we continued to watch. We were a bit jittery watching it, and then all of a sudden we saw basically a young girl. We found out later she was 15 years old. She jumped off the bow of the rib, and exactly what happened could be discussed for a very long time. It could have been a wave, it could have been just the girl herself, it could have been a combination of things. But she jumped off the bow of the rib, hit the water and went underneath the boat, directly underneath the rib. And I feel awful just even thinking back to it. It was just terrible to watch. And she did this like really happy jump up in the air, straight up, happy, starfish, you know, really happy. And I don't know, I haven't worked it out, but 20 knots from the bow of the boat to the engine, you're talking a fraction of a second. And basically she went underneath the boat. The driver panicked and he was doing a large curve like that, which was keeping the propeller away from the kids who jumped in. He turned the opposite direction, so the boat was going around in a circle. She jumped in at the bow. He turned what was actually the wrong way and brought the propeller straight on top of her. And you know, we heard kind of afterwards, we heard kids screaming and kind of horrible noises. And basically they got her out of the water, took her into the port, and then, you know, we kind of stayed there feeling quite sick, and we could hear the ambulance and different things. We didn't know if she'd been killed or anything, but basically we found out afterwards. I went online and we saw that she was a 15-year-old girl. She suffered multiple lacerations to her legs, so you know, she was very lucky to have survived. For a 15-year-old girl, having scars all down your legs probably feels like the end of the world, so she's probably, you know, mentally going to suffer for the rest of her life. And also the driver of the boat, you know, it's easy to criticise people, but we all make mistakes, and I don't want to criticise the driver of that boat directly because he'll no doubt do that himself for the rest of his life. No doubt he's replayed this situation in his head many times over already, and you know, it's not my place to criticise him. But the purpose of this video is just to kind of spread awareness. So if you can share this video with other people, please, then we may be able to save people's lives. Just before making this video, I went online and found 3 incidents like this in August 2017, just in Italy. There was the one that we saw. There was a 21-year-old girl on a hire boat in the south of Italy. She jumped off, the boat went on top of her, and she suffered multiple lacerations all over her body, which nearly killed her from blood loss. And the 3rd incident was a 68-year-old lady who was in a tender with 3 other people. They were going along in their tender. It was a very high traffic area. A motorboat went past really quickly, caused their tender to topple over, and then immediately afterwards she was run over by a powerboat and she was decapitated by the propeller of the motorboat. So I'm really sorry to have to raise this in a video. It's a very somber subject. I feel a little bit sick thinking back to what we saw this summer, but it's such an important subject. You often see kids in anchorages playing around in the tender, and I'm not saying I necessarily disagree with that. All I'm saying is we need to be really careful about what we do with engines, and it only takes a fraction of a second. And 1 minute you can be having a beautiful day in the sunshine, the next minute your whole life could change. So please share this message, share this video, and let's try and save some lives by getting this message out there. Engines are extremely dangerous, and we all have to pay great attention when we're out on the water to be careful not to injure anybody.